What is up, everybody? We made it home. It's the next day. I got the Oldsmobile. Made it safely. Wasn't too bad of a trip. Actually pulled really good, which I'm happy with. Believe it or not, I'm going to attempt driving this thing off the trailer. When I unloaded it in Florida, I did back it off the trailer, which everyone was amazed when they seen it because they didn't think it run, but it actually had a pretty decent motor in it. So it's been sitting for a long time, so I'm going to change the oil, do all that good stuff, and we'll see if we can start it up, back it off. That'd be really cool, save a ton of headache. So let's get to it. But one more thing before we get into that, hit the like button. You know you want to. Go ahead and subscribe. Subscribers been jumping up, so that's cool. So leave a comment what you think about the Oldsmobile. I'll go into a little bit more detail of why I have this car. I know a lot of people think it's a big piece of junk, which it looks like it, but it's a long story. So I'll get into that a little bit later. So I was gonna drain the fuel system. Like I said, I did drive this car off the trailer, believe it or not. It did have gas in it. Whether that gas is evaporated over the last 6 years that it sat, or somebody come by and stole it. Either or. I guess it helped me out. I knocked on the bottom of the tank. It sounds empty, so that's cool. I'm gonna throw some fuel in here. I got a little pump that you hook up to a drill. I run it a few times, nothing's coming through the fuel line, so hopefully it's empty. The fuel filter's empty. So maybe it just leaked and dry itself out or evaporated. Either or, it's cool with me. Because I was gonna drop the tank, clean it out, but it's too much work. We'll just put some new fuel in it and send it. Screw it. It's gonna need a new carburetor anyways, probably. So I'm gonna dump some gas in here, see if I can get it primed up to the front, hook it back to the fuel pump, roll this thing back a little bit, change the oil, prime it, see what it does. Well, we got the oil all changed. It was a bit of a struggle squeezing under this thing on the trailer. I'm not the smallest person in the world, but I made it. In all honesty, I could have fired it up. I mean, the oil come out, it was black, yeah, but it still looked pretty good. I didn't have to use a screwdriver to get it out, which is pretty surprising. But we got fresh oil in it. I'm gonna drive the trailer back up to the house because I'm in the middle of the yard because it's the only part that's shaded right now. So I'm gonna drive back up there, go get my shop vac, suck all the water out of the floorboards because it probably wouldn't be a good idea sending voltage to this with half the wiring harness underwater. So we'll dry that out and I guess throw a battery in here and see if it'll bust off. I didn't get the fuel to prime. I used my little pump thingy that I bought from the parts store. Doesn't seem to be really doing much, which doesn't surprise me. I mean, it's trying to prime a whole fuel line. So we'll see. We'll cross that bridge when we get there. I mean, if it even fires off, that'll be amazing to me. I'm gonna just spray some brake cleaner in the carburetor because they didn't have any carburetor cleaner or fuel line. What kind of parts store are we dealing with here? Put a few squirts of brake cleaner in the carburetor, see if it busts off. So I've got the battery hooked up. Hadn't burned down yet. Surprisingly enough, the dome light under the dashboard is on, which is a good sign. So I'm gonna try turning it over. I'm gonna just spin the motor over a few times, kind of get the oil circulated. I did not prime it. I know. I just didn't feel like pulling the distributor because the last time I drove this, I had the distributor set really good. It ran perfect. So, like I said, when I dumped the oil out, everything did look good still. So hopefully everything is kind of somewhat lubricated. Yes, it has sat up for a long time, but it also sat up for a long time when I put the motor in here, and I just fired it up. It did good. So we'll see how that goes this time. Alright, fire in the hole. Nothing. Man, I hear noise coming from the starter area. Let's investigate. So I went to get my power probe and I was got a little hook tool that'll pierce the wire. Got back up here and I forgot the hook tools in the other kit. It's still down in the shop. So before I walked down there again, I decided to hit the ignition and it turned over. Didn't turn over much. Kind of seems like every vehicle I own has dead batteries right now. It's kind of weird. So we'll just keep trying. Maybe it'll do something. Well, that is very, very good. Motor's not locked up. Always a good sign. I guess I'm going to throw a charger on this thing. It'll start the tan Cadillac, but it ain't starting this high horsepower beast. So I'm going to throw a charger on it, let it sit for a little bit. It is an optimal battery. You figure it'd be ideal for starting this thing, but I don't know. So I'll bring it back then. I guess to speed things up a little bit, I'll just use the battery on the winch. It's brand spanking new, so maybe we can get a little bit of turns with it. Alright, let's try it again. We're not going to start it or nothing like that. I'm just going to turn it over a few times. I do have a oil pressure gauge in there, so you can see if it's at least building oil pressure. Good. I don't see any oil pressure being built yet. Definitely not good. Well, it is moving oil, so that's good. There's just a lot of air in the lines. Okay, we're moving oil. That's good. Very, very good. But our battery probably isn't going to last as much as I need it to, of course. Now let's see if we have any combustion. Fire in the hole. It is going to run. It will. I hope I did that. Get it down into the engine. Or maybe it won't. I'll bring it back here in a little bit once I figure out what's going on. Since I do have gas, I'll probably just try that. Dang, carburetors, forget you gotta pat the gas. Let's just see if we can completely flood it. Well, it wants to start, it just doesn't remember how. Whoopsie. Woo! Let's keep pouring it to it. Takes 4 gallons of gas to run for 2 seconds. See if we can wash the rings out the tailpipe. So I probably should have been recording that. Filled up the bowls, turn it over, and actually idle a little bit. See if we can do that twice. Very precise pouring. The whole engine will probably catch on fire now. Really doesn't get much better than that. Unless it, primed the fuel system and it just kept on running. That'd be cool. See oil moving. I'm happy with that. Cool. Let's keep going. That fan feels pretty good too. Poured it pretty much everywhere except where I needed to. Mufflers are full of water. Thought we were dumping gas out of them at first. I was like, wow, that was a lot of gas. But no, it's actually water. Prime, you bastard, prime! I'm gonna shut off as soon as I get up here. I got 60 pounds of oil pressure, so I'm happy with that. It was taking a while for the gauge to actually move. It was on 0. I was kind of a little bit nervous. But I seen oil moving here, so I knew it was moving somewhere. And then all of a sudden the gauge just shot from 0 up to 60. It's to be expected, I think, sitting that long. Now, if we could just get the fuel system primed, probably back it off the trailer. So I need to stop recording while I'm trying to fix something. That simple. Got the fuel system primed, fired up, ran, revved it up. See if I can do it again. You guys watching. Oh, and I found a leak in the coolant system. That's easy. It's just a little plug that is on the end of the radiator, which I'm not worried about that right now. I'm just trying to back it off the trailer. I think she's ready. Alright, so we got the will it run portion of this video done. Of course it'll run. It's a Chevrolet 305. Come on. Now, will it drive? That's going to be the real kicker. Don't act like you're not impressed. Now will it stay running long enough for me to get in it? too. Damn it, man. Don't curse me. Yeah. Oh, that fuel system primed as good as I thought it did. Alright, let's try it again. Literally all I had to do is get out and start it up, and then shut off again. Maybe I'll try starting from the inside this time. Woo! Slam that hard. Oh damn, the gas gauge works. Well, doesn't go in reverse.
You got one reverse light.
That's cool. Little check the transmission fluid. Maybe it leaked out over sitting for years. Alright, take 3. Turns out it didn't have any transmission fluid in it. Only had 1 quart, so we'll see if that's enough. Oh yeah, good. Let me keep it running. Watch out, Christo! Run you over. So I gotta say, I'm pretty happy how this all turned out. I kind of figured it would drive off. Like I said, it did drive off the trailer last time when I parked it. So I was pretty sure it'd drive off this time. Just need a little bit of coaxing. And I really didn't have to do anything mechanically. I changed the oil, changed the fuel filter, dumped a bunch of gas in it. It kind of fired up and ran. Pretty happy with that. I mean, that's awesome. As you can see, I found one of the fender skirts. I actually found them both. Went ahead and popped it on there. I'm sure a lot of people that don't know this car seen that wheel opening. I was like, man, that is ugly. Yes, it is. It looks pretty good with the skirt on it, especially when you lay it out and you only see just the bottom of the wheel. That's my favorite thing about this whole car. And if you haven't wondered by now why I'm taking so much time with this car, why I'm going to do this much work to this car, this is my first car. I've had it ever since I was 15. Yeah, I got it when I was 15. And I've done a lot of work to it, a lot more work than you could probably ever imagine. It's been taken off the frame. It's got a fully wrapped frame, split belly, 1 inch. It's built to be a hopper. And over the years, you know, kind of life happens and just kind of sat on the back burner forever. I'd usually work on it about once a year, get a bunch of work done. Remember right when I first met my wife, did the interior on it. Kind of put it all in there. I wrapped everything myself. Did the headliner. It was looking good. I was really happy with it. Let it sit for a couple weeks, and the Florida heat killed the headliner. Headliner sagged. Kind of lost motivation. It sat forever. And sat for another year. And by then I came back. I think I shaved the firewall then. got it all done. Painted it one night. I was outside, painted it, looked good. Went inside, come out the next morning, condensation had set in while the clear coat was wet. All milked up and hazed up. At the time, I didn't know you could cut and buff it out, so pretty discouraged there. So I waited a couple weeks, come back on it, did it again. It turned out good, but started on another projects, so this thing sat again. I got my coupe then. I was working pretty hardcore on my coupe. And later on, probably 2 years from then, I decided to get back on it. That's when me and my buddy Chad kind of had the race to get our cars back on the road. And I had the whole front suspension torn out, the front clip was off, didn't have a motor. Didn't have a motor that whole process while I was working on it before that. So got it all done, got the motor in it, and got it running, drove it to work a few times. It was like literally right around the corner. And then I let it sit. And I just started working on everybody else's cars then. And after that I moved, and when I moved up to Alabama, it kind of just sat in my in-laws' house forever, 6 years. And didn't really have a place up here to store it at the time. I had my Fleetwood at my mom's house, didn't really need to bring another vehicle up there. And when it was in Florida, it was kind of out of sight, out of mind. But now I got my house and I actually have room. I got it back up here. I was hoping to build a bigger shop, but that doesn't look like it's going to happen anytime soon. But I do have a shop that I can move it in. And with it running, it makes it a lot easier. I can actually get it in, work on it, tinker with it. But that's where I'm pretty much going to leave this video. Now you guys know. So you'll be seeing a lot of this thing. I'm going to do some more work to it. I may spray it myself, do the paint job. Might take it somewhere else. I'm not sure. That's why it's all torn apart. I was getting ready to paint it back when I had my shop, like 8 years ago. I had stripped it down. I was getting ready to paint it for my birthday. I was going to have everybody come over and help out that I had helped out, working on their cars. But I was the only one that was there working, so nobody else showed up. So this is where it was left at. Also, I had replaced the roof on it. That's another reason I was still working on it so much. I've got so much labor invested in it. Yeah, I've cut the complete roof off. It was so rusted out from the vinyl top. So we hacked it completely off, put a whole new roof off of a Cadillac on it. And it's turned out pretty good. That's why you see Bondo there. That's where I cut it. But it turned out pretty good. It was my first roof transplant. Cut it, put it on. I had a bunch of my buddies come over and help set the roof on there. It was a one-day event. Surprised me. But other than that, that's where I'm going to end the video. Hit the like button, comment, let me know what your first car was. Share it, subscribe, all that good stuff. See ya. What seems to be the problem? Good shot. Got away free. It lives to die another day.